here on time. Fabulous. So welcome. This is great, Deb. Look at all these beautiful
Fabulous.
faces. Yes. So this is your first coaching call. It's going to be 4. So Tuesday for 4 times. And we're going to go through, like today, since we didn't do a prep week, we're just going to go through prep week and week 1 and particularly answer any questions you have, because this program, the content is so deep and so rich in the Clear the Way program that we don't need to give you more content, but we want to make sure you understand and can connect with the content and the program. And Deb, I just think it would be lovely for you to just give an outline of your vision for this program, since we have you on the call, and it's just so lovely to be grounded in what this program is really all about.
You know, I was just thinking it might be fun to just show them a picture of Sonavive. You want to pull Sonavive up on your computer and just...
Yes, I can do that.
I mean, I could too, but you've got the controls over there.
Yes.
So, so Karen's pulling up a place. It's just over the border in Mexico, just south of San Diego, called Sonavive, and it's a functional medicine hospital / spa. It's a top-notch functional medicine hospital, probably the best in the world, really, because we know that because kings of different countries have been there. Like when we were there, I've been there when a king of a country was taking up one whole floor with his entourage. So this is Sonavive. So Karen's showing the picture, and I hope, but there you go. I wish you could pause on that. That could have been us. This is the view that you have there. This is the original building, the original mansion building that you're seeing. And anyway, you can see how beautiful it is. And, oh, it looks like you can, there you go. Can it pause there? Oh,
I don't know if I can pause it, Deb.
It's new, huh? I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, you get the idea of how beautiful it is.
This is on the website.
This is their website, sonavive.com. And I want you to see it because it's really the epitome of true health care. So it's not sickness oriented, although if someone is very sick, they'll work with you. But the whole idea is treating the whole person. So when you come to Sonavive, I went there for the first time when I first became associated with USANA. I started taking the supplements, and I discovered that the scientist who formulated our supplements created this medical institute. It's his dream of true healthcare. And one of the things they could help with is Epstein-Barr, which I had high Epstein-Barr titers at the time. This was 2004. And I was experiencing all the symptoms. If you've ever had that, you know that's not fun. So I went to Sonavive, and what I discovered is the whole team treats you. You have an attending physician, a regular MD. You also have a dietitian. You have a psychologist. You have a chiropractor. You have a massage therapist. Would I leave out? There's
dentistry, functional dentistry.
You have a dentist. And so all of your caregivers meet every day. At 1 p.m. they meet every day. And first of all, they pray for the patients, and then they share what each of them have discovered about you since the day before. So they're doing testing, maybe they're seeing you in person, and they're putting together a full program for you. And I experienced tremendous healing there. I no longer suffer from Epstein-Barr symptoms. I also credit it because I've been taking the health pack ever since. But I went many times after that. Karen, you've been more than I have because you live closer. And on my last trip there, which was 3 years ago, I had the strongest urge that I want everybody to have the experience of this holistic, preventive way of living, like living in a way that keeps your system clean and clear. And it doesn't have to cost tens of thousands of dollars, which it would if you go to Sonavive very often. You can do the Sonavive at home. So that's why I created Clear the Way. I wanted people to have this. Now, granted, we're not all staying in that gorgeous place with rooms opening up to the ocean. However, the protocol is exactly what they would do for you if you came there on a wellness journey. and they would start with this protocol. Now they might do some other things based on what the doctors say, but this is the protocol. And so that's what started it. It was just my big desire. And that's why it goes for 4 weeks, not because it does not really have a start and end date for 4 weeks. In my opinion, it's a way of living. It's a healthy way of living. But I made it 4 weeks. So there you go. I made it 4 weeks, and there's preparation, because it does take preparation. You know, when you shift from living the standard American diet or just the standard American way, you may not have taken into account all of these things. And so it's important that there's a prep week. It's important that you kind of ease yourself into it. And then each of the weeks is addressing some aspect of your whole being. And so that's why you're going to see and hear yoga and hula hooping. And you're going to hear, by the end, you're going to be talking about what products you use on your skin and to clean your furniture, because you don't want to be adding toxins the whole time we're detoxifying. And so anyway, I don't want to say too much, but that's the original reason why I came up with it. And it's now, since I created it, it's expanded because we have this whole team of highly gifted health professionals all adding in their voice and their expertise. And so it's a really robust program, and it really is meant to be a lifestyle. So that's what I would say.
Thank you. I just think that's so lovely to be grounded in that. And I will, in the prep week, I'm going to pull up the daily schedule, because of all things, maybe that would be good for you to walk through too, Deb.
Sure, I'd love to.
I'm going to open the daily schedule here. So I'm in prep week. So you all know, hopefully you've all got your login. You know how to get into this. And the first thing to download is your daily schedule. And if you haven't been in this a while, make sure it says at the bottom here, 2020, because we did update it, just made it look a little easier on the eye, because this is something you print out and maybe put on your refrigerator.
So, so the first thing you do when you wake up, and this actually, it's an Ayurvedic, in Sanaviv, they pull wisdom from wisdom tradition medicines, traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurveda. They have amazing, really modern medicines too, from Germany, especially Germany and Switzerland have all kinds of energy medicine machines that they use. So they go all the way back to 7,500 years, all the way up until almost futuristic medicine happens at Sanaviv. So one of the things you do when you first wake up is you scrape your tongue. And that's an Ayurvedic lifestyle practice, which is also how I live. And so you want to scrape your tongue. And if you don't, I recommend to just get a tongue scraper. Amazon has them. You can I like copper ones, and you can get a copper tongue scraper. Or if you don't have one, you can just take a spoon, like a teaspoon, and turn it backwards and just scrape your tongue. One of the things you want to do is get that tongue scraper back far enough so that you give a tiny bit of a gag reflex, just a little bit like that, not to throw up, but to just get peristalsis started. As soon as you give that tiny bit of gag reflex, it starts peristalsis all the way down the system, which is going to help you evacuate your bowels first thing in the morning, because that's that same motion. The tract is all connected. So you scrape your tongue. The other reason you do it is because the tongue, when you wake up, will be coated with undigested toxins, and you don't want to swallow that. I just hate to see people wake up and first thing take a drink of water. I'm like, no, scrape your tongue first, please. And then drink a cup of hot water, either plain or with some lemon juice, half of a lemon. At Sanavi, we start every day like this. We start with drinking hot water with lemon juice. In Ayurveda, the way I was trained, we just do hot water, no lemon, but I don't know. I like the lemon, and I like the fact that it creates more of an alkaline environment in the body. And all of us tend to be too acidic. And so having a little bit of lemon juice in your water in the morning can make you more alkaline. So that's what we do. And then I think the rest of it is pretty self-explanatory. Breakfast, you want to have a low glycemic breakfast, which we can talk a lot more about, and you're going to get a lot more instruction on. Or you might want to make a smoothie. Your choice. If you want to I like smoothies for breakfast because they're easy. As you can see, I'm having one for a late lunch now because my day went crazy. And I love the fact that it's healthy fast food is what it is. I prefer to eat real food, but when time is a crunch, I really love that we have healthy fast food. So you can make a shake, and in the shake, you put some Fibergy, which has prebiotics that feed the probiotics. You put your probiotic in there too. So now you've got the feeder of the probiotic, and you've got the probiotics going in to help support healthy guts. And then you put your protein powder in. And like mine, this one I have here has, it has 2 cups of spinach and it has some blueberries. This mine has. So that's what mine has. And then you take your pack of morning supplements and boom, you're done. If for some reason you're not a breakfast eater, I know that, there's a lot of talk about intermittent fasting and eating windows. We can talk about it here. I'll just go ahead and say, in Ayurveda, this is thousands of years old, that certain body types, it's better for them to not eat breakfast. This is nothing new. Intermittent fasting is ancient. And so if you're doing that, and if it's suiting your body, and if you're not having breakfast, well, you're going to take your AM supplements at lunch. I just wanted to answer that question because people ask me all the time, what if I don't eat breakfast? Then take your AM supplements at lunch. And then again, based on your nature and how your body digests and your hunger level, you may or may not need a snack. Some people do better if they don't snack. Some people do better if they do snack. And it's really about you learning yourself, like what really keeps you steady. And then when you eat lunch, you take a digestive enzyme before you eat lunch. And this helps break down the food, makes it much easier on your body to assimilate it. And then dinner is pretty simple too, a digestive enzyme and your afternoon, your PM packet. And then right before you go to bed, and I recommend that you keep your bottle of Hepacil on your nightstand. And so that just before you go to bed, you take 3 of these liver support tablets. And they're so powerful at supporting your liver in doing its best job at detoxifying your body while you sleep. And so I know so many people, I don't want to tell you what's going to happen, but everyone loves this. Everyone loves getting their body where at night it's really doing its cleansing. So we'll see by the end of the 4 weeks. I won't say what I think is going to happen, but you'll be very happy is what I'm going to say. If you do this every night, take those 3 Hepacil. So how's
Wonderful.
that, Karen?
Lovely. And we do have, I want to point out, we do have this new recipe tip sheet for Nutrimil Free, just in case you want to make your smoothies creative, like Deb is already making hers creative. Cindy Snow, one of our faculty, created this, which is just fabulous. It talks about a lot of different spices that you might want to add to your Nutrimil Free, which is Nutrimil Free is the gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free full meal replacement. So Cindy was so good doing that. And then she also has something about fiber, why fiber is so important. So that's a brand new addition to Prep Week. Just wanted to point that out. Well, I think it'd be great to take questions because this is what this call is about.
Yep.
Make sure you all are really clear about what you're doing and you have us answer any questions. So what's the best way to ask a question? I could just put up your hand.
I think if you put your hand close to your camera like that, it's easy to tell that there's a question there.
Is that Gloria? No, Teresa. Okay, Teresa.
Unmute yourself. There you go.
I've always got questions.
Good.
You were referring to the AM and PM supplements as packets. And so I was wondering about that because mine are in individual containers.
Yeah, we changed that, Deb. We did have packets before, and some people have the little packets, Teresa. They're pre-made for you to make it easy for you to take them. But the tablets you have, which is called the Cell Essentials, they're in place of the packs. So some of you are doing the pills in bottles. Some of you have the specialized packs.
So yeah, so thank you for asking. So in the morning, you'll take 2 of the antioxidants and 2 of the minerals. And in the evening, 2 of the antioxidants, 2 of the minerals.
Okay. I think that would be a good thing to note on the daily schedule because that was a question I had originally. Um,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So in
because
what way, Teresa? What would make it easier?
It said
on
it
the-
said AM packet, I think. Didn't it say? Or
no,
just say
no,
AM?
it just
No, it just
says
said AM supplements, but maybe actually say 2 antioxidants,
yes.
2 minerals.
Yes, I think that would be
I
helpful
agree.
because
I
I
agree.
couldn't find anywhere that it actually said that.
Right.
So
Ex-
Michelle, she's just so patient with me with all of my questions.
Yeah, that makes
Great.
so much sense. So that it makes
Yeah,
so much sense. So it would either be either your AM packet or two mega antioxidants and 2 minerals. Yeah.
right. And we're also going to pull this, we're going to pull this probiotic down here because you don't have to have the probiotic in your shake. I mean, it's an option.
Right. It's an option.
Take your
Just
probiotic and you'll be taking it with your meal or, so we're also going to change that. So thank you, Teresa. I'll make both of those changes.
that's great.
I had one other question as well.
Yeah.
The bottle of the Hepacil says to take it with food. And so is that a problem or does it matter or?
We just
Well,
talked about that yesterday.
Yeah, we have a little insider information from the scientists. The reason they said that was they thought that people would have better compliance because everything else is taken with food.
Mhm.
It's kind of that trade-off. If you don't take it at all, that really doesn't work. So they decided what's more likely. People will take it with their other supplements with their meals, and so they put on there. And it doesn't hurt to take it with meals, but it's not quite as potent. It's most potent if you take it at bedtime on an empty stomach. And so we had this discussion with one of the lead scientists at USANA, and when we got the information, we thought, well, we're going to put that in our program. So that's why. So it won't hurt if you take it with your meals. And I would say if you feel like if you won't be compliant about taking it at night, but you would be compliant taking it with meals, take it with your meals. It's better to take it with your meals than to don't take it at all. That's what I would say.
All right. Great.
And
Thank you, ladies.
just an extension, yes, extension that Deb, share what you shared yesterday on our team call about why it's best to take it at night because of what the liver is actually doing.
Yeah, well, that's nighttime. Nighttime is when your body is actually metabolizing everything you've eaten that day and detoxifying. So the liver goes to work. It goes to work scrubbing and doing all of its stuff. But if you eat late at night, it can't do that. So that's why you want to. It's kind of also it's a little bit of a trick of our program to say, take it before bed on an empty stomach, meaning don't go to bed with food in your stomach, because if you go to bed with food in your stomach, then your liver can't do what it's meant to do. The liver has to shift from, if there's food in there, it's got to do the work of helping with metabolism and all that stuff. It wants to shift to the work of cleansing. So it's going to be in its cleansing mode, and you're going to support it. So you're going to give it all helpful. Glutathione is it has a glutathione precursors in it. And glutathione is a really helpful boost for detoxifying. So yeah. And one thing about Hepacil, it's interesting. USANA science is so advanced. We've had this in our product since 15 years at least, or 20 years, I don't know. But the Hepacil, it doesn't have glutathione in it. And you may hear about glutathione in the popular media right now because there's so much talk about immunity and immune function. And glutathione is very helpful to your immune function because it helps detoxify and it's an anti-inflammatory. Problem is, if you take glutathione orally, the body actually can't utilize it. You can utilize it with an IV push, or what USANA does in Hepacil, it puts the precursors to glutathione, gives your body the precursors so your liver can make glutathione. So it's pretty groovy that way. And that's what it's going to do while you're sleeping. Your body's going to be making glutathione and helping it cleanse. So
We're so lucky we have our own in-house health scientist. Brenda, I saw your hand go up. Yes.
Thank you for explaining that. I was curious about that. And so I'm Michelle's my coach. And so I'm really happy to be doing this. I had a question. Oh yeah. So the question is, what do you recommend on the Ayurvedic side, if anything, about eating and not drinking while you eat? Any opinions on that?
Yes, we yeah, we don't go too deep into it here. The answer is don't really drink while you eat. Like chew your food. One of my teachers used to say, you should drink your food and eat your soup. So just chew on that, pun intended, for a while. You should drink your food and eat your soup.
Is
So
that so you chew a lot more,
you
right?
chew so much that it's so
Satiate.
liquid that you drink it down, and you don't. What we do in a hurry culture is we put it in and gulp it down, and it's still whole practically, which makes it really hard to digest. And then because it's hard, we have to swallow water, which makes it even worse because it now, I'm looking for the word, you know the word I mean.
Spongy kind of in a way.
Well, no, it makes the acids in your stomach less potent.
Dilute. Yes,
Oh,
dilute.
It dilutes, that's the word I was like, it dilutes the digestive juices in your stomach. So when you drink water, you know, the stomach has hydrochloric acid, and you want it to be potent hydrochloric acid, which is why we take digestive enzymes to help with that process. So when you drink water, it dilutes the acids, and then you have a double whammy. You didn't chew your food, so it didn't get properly digested with saliva. And then secondarily, you've diluted the juices. So that's one of the big problems in American eating style. Yeah. So you can have a little bit of water, but just if you need a tiny little sip, it's better to drink the water outside of meals.
That week one, no, the introduction video, actually on the homepage, Deb and I did it's 45 minutes, but it explains the whole digestive process. And I remember speaking about that, Deb, about when you're first eating, just the thought, because of course digestion starts in the mind, and then the saliva starts going and the digestive juices start flowing for optimal digestion. And then what we do, we drink water and we dilute that whole process. So it makes sense when you kind of think it through. So yeah, drink lots and lots of water, but just not with meals.
thank you.
Yeah, great question.
And
Kisa, yes. Hello.
Yes, hi. So one of the clients, she's here, but she couldn't ask the question because she's driving for her doctor's appointment, and she was wondering if yogurt would be okay, even though I know we're not doing dairy. Her biggest hitch was staying away from yogurt, though she does do homemade yogurt, so plain yogurt. How do we navigate that?
Well, the first question I ask is what do you make? Like, because there's all kinds of yogurt. There's coconut yogurt, there's
She's doing the regular, the cow milk.
cow's milk. And is she having any digestive issues? Just generally?
Generally, no. She's Dr. Kern. She's Anandi with RA, so she is trying. Yeah. So I was encouraging her to try out the coconut yogurt, but she isn't very sure, and I was helping her, maybe progressing towards an experiment to try the coconut yogurt rather than. But is it okay if she doesn't go all the way going dairy free and then still does a little bit of yogurt?
Tell me, do you know what her goals are?
She does want to go pain free, and I think the one thing that stuck with me is that she said that she wanted to wake up without pain because of her RA. I think she suffers a lot.
I heard RA, but I didn't catch it. Oh, in that case, I'm just going to say, do you want no pain, or do you want to keep having your yogurt?
Because dairy is
so
right on top of the list.
Is so high on the list. It's so.
And then I just kind of explore a little. What's the attachment? Because that's the thing we also want to dig into. If there's a food that's like we're really holding on to, just exploring what that means. Like, what's the attachment? Is it convenience? Is it taste? Is it like talk about?
And there's another piece of it too, Karen. Remember the research? This gave me a lot of compassion for myself. when I was craving the very thing that was bad for me. Because I don't know if any of you ever have done that. Have any of you ever craved the thing that was actually the thing bad for you?
No.
Oh, good. I'm so a lot of people. Oh, good. Well, I'm not the only one. So I used to really beat myself up about that and think I was the only one. And then let me see if I can get that, because let me get the research right. So, all right. When you're eating something that is somehow getting through the protein part of it is getting through your gut, because our guts aren't very healthy. So you've heard of leaky gut, right? So Karen does the whole thing on leaky. We talk about this. When that protein gets through, I mean, this is very simplistic, but let's just say it gets through the cell walls, through the intestinal walls. Now it's floating around in your body, and it's not supposed to be there, right? It's supposed to be inside of your digestive system. So your immune system sees it and attacks it like it's a foreign thing. It shouldn't be there. And a byproduct of that process is an endorphin-like substance. And so you actually feel so good having it, but it's actually making you so sick. Does that make sense?
It does.
So we get addicted. So it's one of my own clues. If I'm arguing so strongly for a food, I'm not willing to give it up for a week or two, I can, for me, pretty much guarantee it's part of that endorphin response to something that's not good for me. And so it gives me compassion for myself. Like, wow, no wonder it's so hard, because you're getting an endorphin hit. Who doesn't want one of those? But then it also helps me be more disciplined on myself and say, yeah, but you can't have it. Like, it's just, we got to stop, because it's really, you're in a spiral loop. So I don't know if that helps or not, but.
It does. Yeah. I think it helps with my cravings now.
Yeah, right.
The other thing I'll add, because you've just reminded me, Deb, is someone doing this program. She couldn't be live today, but Kathleen, she's a psychiatrist in Arkansas. And I was talking to her. I was so excited to have a functional psychiatrist that's interested in this. And she directly said to me that when we have a craving like that, it's actually our imbalanced microbiome. It's the so-called pathogenic microbes that are craving. She said, it's not the human cells that are craving, it's the imbalanced microbiome. So once you balance the microbiome, that supports that the cravings go away. Now, I have to give again that a psychiatrist is actually saying to me, so excited, because of the link between gut and, well, the second brain and the first brain, and leaky brain, like we're all one system. So I thought that was such an interesting perspective. And of course, one of the goals of this program is to bring your microbiome into balance, because those microbes outnumber human cells by 10 to 1. They have a lot of power in our body. So with all that said, we hope that it was Ananda that asked that question.
Yes,
Andy could just give it a try.
Yeah, definitely. I think it makes so much sense, and I think this would be the experiment time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Experiment. Yeah. It doesn't mean a life sentence. That's right.
Right.
It's not a life
and
sentence.
It also doesn't mean if she doesn't do it, she's failed. Please.
Exactly.
Because, this program is very permission-based. I like what you said. It's time to practice, experiment, listen to the body, and keep going, even if it's like you don't. And there's no such thing as perfect. It's just looking at the science and giving the best suggestion and doing the best you can.
True. Gloria has a question.
I have several questions, but so obviously this whole new journey is very new, and there's a lot of terminology here that it might make clear sense to someone, but not so much to me. So I want to kind of understand, when you guys say dairy free, what you're saying, it's like milk protein free. Is that correct?
Not just, but
like cow protein or
cow, like anything made from cow's milk. How's that?
Cow's milk. Okay. So any brands in particular that are, kind of on the low glycemic side? Because I know there's just so many brands brands out there for yogurt and ice creams and just stuff like that that would be good substitutes that fall in the low glycemic index?
So if it's any milk or ice cream or yogurt would all be dairy no matter what brand it is?
They all fall under dairy. Okay.
They're all dairy. Yeah, all milks, all cheeses. So cheese, milk, yogurt, ice cream.
A lot of people eggs and eggs are again. Yogurt.
Yeah, I don't count eggs as dairy because they come from chickens, but I think, yeah. Does that
what about coconut yogurt?
But you could do, so maybe what you're thinking is what's a substitute for that? So there's coconut milk, almond milk, oat milk, all the nut milks. Have you seen those in the grocery store?
Yeah, I mean, I am lactose intolerant, so we don't. Well,
then you're already there.
My daughter probably is the only one that drinks like 2% milk, but for the most part, I've always done coconut. I'm doing oats milk right now. That tends to settle well in my stomach. But I was just kind of thinking, if I want to create like a dessert, what are some alternatives that you guys have that work? I don't know if my question.
I see Sue in the chat box. Thank you. I love it when you're all contributing. She's saying coconut milk yogurt and ice cream with stevia. I guess it's coconut milk ice cream with stevia.
Okay.
You know what I do? I take coconut milk. I have one of those little bitty ninjas. It's like a little miniature food processor. And I put coconut milk, like, I don't know how much, maybe 1.5 cups or something. And I dump in frozen berries and a little bit of stevia and mix it. It comes out like amazing. It's like a sherbet, really good.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I do when I want something sweet like that.
And I did notice that the recipes all kind of have great suggestions for lunch and dinner, but didn't see very much breakfast. So what resource do you guys have for breakfast? I'm not a smoothie or a juice person in the morning. And maybe it's because it's not the lifestyle that, I've implemented. But if I can't imagine doing fruit smoothies and juices every single day. Like I would like, alternatives. So what recommendation, what do you recommend so I can get some ideas for like low glycemic, gluten-free, dairy-free breakfasts?
Do you like eggs?
Yeah, we eat eggs.
So you can have some scrambled eggs with some, I would scramble them or whatever you want to do with some vegetables in them. It's a really good idea. So saute some vegetables and put them with eggs is a great way to start the day. Steel cut oats that you can, maybe your people are putting in the chat box. So steel cut oats are slower to hit the bloodstream than the quick ones. If it cooks quickly, it hits your bloodstream quickly. So maybe someone can type. Did any of you guys make overnight oats? Do any of you guys who are here do overnight oats? You just put it, so easy. You could, because it's there, for me, the frustration in the morning is timing. And so if you get a mason jar, and you can even Google it, overnight oats. And what you do is you just put a little coconut milk and your oats and some, whatever you want to put with oatmeal, and put in the fridge. And the next day it's done. You don't even have to cook it. You can heat it or eat it like that. It's a really good way.
And we do. And we do. I mean, it's the only oatmeal my daughter actually prefers but I just didn't see it on where it says grains list. I didn't see steel cut oats there. I only saw quinoa and rice.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
So let me add
Donna said chia pudding. If you look on the chat box, Gloria, chia pudding or coconut yogurt, a good breakfast. You can also do them in the slow cooker using oats or buckwheat oats.
Oh yeah.
Congee recipes, not using congee. C-O-N-G-E.
It's traditional Chinese medicine.
Okay.
Where's Donna?
Well, I think that's good. Between steel cut oats, eggs, and the smoothies, I think that's a good start.
And I make great, easy muffins, I call them, where I put them in little muffin pans, and it's so simple. Egg whites and eggs and any kind of veggie, and put them in the oven, and then they last about 4 days.
Okay.
Donna.
Okay. And again, no cheese, right? No goat's cheese, no sheep cheese, like no cheese at all.
Everything depends on everything. It depends on what you're really wanting, how clear and clean you want it. If you want to do it as a cleansing type, not for lifestyle, for life, but to do a cleanse, like if you have symptoms of something in your joints, or your digestion's off, or you're breaking out in your skin, or you're wanting to lose weight, or some kind of symptoms, then it's helpful to the body to take a break from that. But it doesn't mean forever. And if you wanted to take some feta crumbles to give the flavor, for example, it's not going to set you back, unless you really have some issues going on. I mean, the arthritis I would stay away from.
Okay.
Donna,
Xenia, did you have your hand up?
Oh yeah, no, the egg muffin idea is brilliant. I've been doing that because of time. So the egg whites, and then you can put spinach, you can put whatever you like, and that's saving me a lot of time. And the chia pudding too is a good idea for desserts or the fruits, you can put a little strawberries and blueberries and add some antioxidant to the pudding.
Okay.
Janet, did you have something to say, Janet?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna, and this is why I'm looking at both of you, to incorporate it right now, because I'm in a very high intensity training racing program. So I'm trying to figure out, like, we're supposed to load carbs, before races, and this doesn't fit. I don't know. I'm kind of struggling. So I've got 3 races coming up in the next 3 weeks. So how do I do this? And
it's so well. I shouldn't say. Deb has an Olympic level swimmer for a son, but
she does. That's why I'm asking the question, because I know she does. So
and that carb loading thing, that's old science. We don't carb load anymore.
What I would say though is look, she's very Vata Pitta, so she's going to need more. She's different people need different things at different times of life. That's why when I put together Clear the Way, I just refuse to create a dietary plan, because it's not fair to anybody, because everyone needs different things. A good Ayurvedic practitioner would say, you say, what should I eat? And they would say, it depends on for whom, when, and where. Like, where are they living? What's the weather like? And what's, all the things. So what I would say, Janet, and for everybody, is that the structure is basically eat regular meals. So keep your blood sugar steady. Now, what keeps blood sugar steady for a person who walks 30 minutes and sits at a desk all day is different from what keeps the blood sugar steady of a person who's doing high intensity training, right? You need different things based on just that alone. And so I would say plug in the foods that because you know what foods really give you the energy and endurance that you need, and plan for them so that they're, in regular intervals. And take your supplements accordingly. Give yourself a digestive enzyme. Take your supplements with breakfast and dinner, or lunch and dinner, either way. And also take the Hepacil at night. And you're basically doing the protocol. The protocol really is eating clean. It's just eating clean. And then based on what you need and what your body needs, you're going to need more carbs, more calories, more or less, depending on the person, right? So I think, does that help, Janet?
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't worry so much. Yeah.
I'm just, my fear factor, I always tell you how I feel. My fear factor is I don't want to upset my metabolism. So I get out there and I'm like, whew, I can't do it. You know what I mean? So that is where my head
head is playing right now. So
yeah. So I think you know yourself. You know what keeps your body humming on the water. Keep doing that, and just take the supplements and get good rest.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, of course.
And keep the meditation going. Keep it going.
That's it.
I tell you, guys, I do her meditations before I row, and it just helps me. And I can't tell you how much it helped me on Sunday.
I'm so glad. And just to say, and you know, I will say, my son is Olympic level athlete, swimmer, and I mean, he eats way more than what's on this sheet of paper, but not that much more. Interestingly, I mean, you would think it's a whole lot more. It's really not. The things where he gets more calorie dense, he'll put, instead of a slice of avocado, he'll eat half of an avocado. I'll put, you know, a little bit more ghee into something for him, but he's not pigging out, and he's not eating he eats no dairy, no sugar, and no gluten. And that's his choice. Like, I didn't tell him. This is what he's discovered. He discovered in his own body. I think he was it was like the best Mother's Day, because I remember it was on Mother's Day that he came home from a sleepover, and he had pizza, and then he swam slow that day. And he noticed that the pizza made him swim slower. And he said, I'm just not going to do that anymore. And I was like, wow, that's kind of amazing. Especially, it was like just middle school. And so he just knows his body, because when you're in a sport that times things in hundredths of a second, you can see a slowdown based on what you ate or drank. You got to know yourself. And I think that's the big thing I think it's a frustration for many people in Clear the Way, is that there are no exact guidelines. And I would apologize for it, except that I'm the one that made it on purpose. There can't be exact guidelines, because you're all so different. And so within the framework, eat regular meals, takes the supplements that we recommend in the way that we recommend, and your body will start healing. It'll start coming into balance, and you'll be able to hear it better. And just like Janet said, you'll know, gosh, I think I need more carbs. Karen and I need different food. Right, Karen? I mean, look at us. We're so different. We're really different. So we need different types and different amounts. I don't eat breakfast. I don't eat breakfast. And I'm
hungry as soon as I wake up.
Me too.
She's hungry. Her digestion is strong. My digestion's really weak. And so it's not ready. I have to prime it. I've got to exercise. I've got to do all kind of stuff before I even feel a tiny bit hungry. Wow. So you got to, and it doesn't make me bad, or just who I am. And so I would hate, whenever I lead retreats, in the old days, I would forget that you people get hungry. Like, I'd be going for 6 hours and not take a break. And people are like,
we would tell you.
We have a snack. I'm like, oh, right. I forget you people eat. Like, I just don't need to eat that often. So that's what you've got to know about yourself, right?
Know thyself. Love that. And Xenia, thank you for that extra comment in the chat box about salmon for breakfast. Have dinner for breakfast. Don't forget, just whatever protein you love. And veggies, a great breakfast.
Yeah, I have another that I remembered. Gloria too had asked me about the coffee, and I forgot the name, Deb, of that dandelion product that you recommended.
Dandy. Oh,
I know. Let me look at. Okay.
Dandy.
And then there was the taquino, right? The taquino.
Yeah. Well, Ticino.
Ticino.
So I'll type that in there. I know for sure. It's a dandy blend. I got it in my mind.
Dandy blend.
No.
And does it taste like coffee?
Yeah. Dandy blend really tastes like coffee. And it's good for you. It's made of dandelion. And dandelion is another detoxifier. So, so it's the craziest thing. How can a dandelion taste like coffee? I don't know. But it's powder form, and it's brown. It even looks like coffee, smells like coffee. Yeah, try it. Yeah, Dandy Blend. I put it in the chat box.
Well, I know we're coming up. Well, we've hit the 45-minute mark, so I wanted to just honor everybody's time. What What a wonderful, rich conversation and questions. And you all have a coach, which is fabulous, that you can continue to ask the questions. And then this forum is for us to come together and not just answer questions, but to feel, you know, that you're not alone and you're part of this amazing community, and that it's a journey that we're on together. So come back next Tuesday, same time. Have your questions all ready so that we can just do this again. It's a great, great conversation. And thanks, Deb, for creating this program.
Everybody have fun.
Thank you.
And I'll put the recording on the Facebook group, the Clear the Way Forum Facebook group, and email as well, in case you're not on Facebook, in case you want to listen again. Have a great week, everyone.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.